I, 23F, found secretary fetish porn on my boyfriend's, 29M, phone after he told me about the new assistant, 25ish, that they hired for him at work, and I'm not sure what to do about it. Hey guys, so exactly like the title says, I'm worried my boyfriend might be fantasizing about his new assistant at work. A couple of weeks ago he told me that they hired a new assistant for him. The whole thing raised my eyebrows from the start just because he seemed excited about it. When I asked him why he's so excited, he said it's just because he's never had an assistant before and he never mentioned her again. The other day I saw him smiling at his phone pretty late at night, so I'm ashamed to admit I got a little paranoid and waited until he fell asleep to go through his phone. I didn't find any texts or anything like that, but I found a bunch of open tabs in his browser that were all office-themed porn involving a young secretary or assistant. I know what I did was wrong and I'm not supposed to snoop, but now I'm glad I did it. I normally wouldn't care that he's watching porn, but I can't help but be paranoid that he's thinking about her. I honestly don't know what to do now. I don't want to confront him because of the way I found out, and also because I might be wrong and it could be just a random fetish. Too long didn't read. Found out my boyfriend has been jerking off to secretary porn 2 weeks after they hired a new assistant for him, and I'm worried that he's fantasizing about her or something, and I'm not sure what to do now. I feel bad for his assistant. I wouldn't want to work for someone who had sexual fantasies about me. That's an awful power dynamic. I'd about everyone saying it's no biggie about the secretary porn. Too much of a coincidence with the timing. If he was into this before he got an assistant, I would think he would have let Op know so they would role play together. It's unfortunate you snooped, but your intuition is telling you something. You'll have to fuss up either way. Maybe ask if you can stop by his work / meet his new assistant, see how he reacts and tell him then. I know I'll get downvoted to hell. Oh well. Really bad idea, emo. I mean, even if she's right, the guy isn't really doing anything wrong, just indulging a fantasy privately. Unless you want to pretend that normal people aren't attracted to others occasionally or find taboo situations exciting. And if it's about cheating, that is an ethics problem. Finding and eliminating a source of attraction really does little here. Here is your, ill-advised, conversation. A. Hi, noticed you have secretary porn on your computer. B. Oh, okay. A. And you just got a secretary. Have something to tell me? Nope, just watching it, but I'll switch to something else. Realizing now why he has to justify his choice in porn to wife and getting annoyed. A. Are you attracted to her? B. What? No, that's crazy. Look, I love you and only you. Internal monologue. She's pretty hot and love fantasizing, but would never in a million years act on it. Same with tens of other attractive women I know over the years. Plus we argue intermittently for months over privacy and insecurities revolving around porn and or the person's co-worker. Maybe he's fantasizing about the dynamic, and not the person. Maybe bring up kinks and ask him if he has any he wants to share. If he opens up, you can ask him if he wants to role play with you. Please don't assume he wants to cheat. Do I think that the secretary triggered this fantasy? No. I think it's likely he had this fantasy before, and the secretary brought it back to the surface. That fantasy is all about power, prestige and control. He finally is accomplished enough to be given a secretary. It's a fantasy about being valued and dominant, not a compulsion. Also, I'm glad you realize it wasn't cool of you to go through his phone. I know people who have broken up because of that betrayal of trust. Respecting boundaries is important, even if you are suspicious. Nothing short of someone missing or some sort of tragedy justifies breaking that trust. First off, if you have concerns, talk to him instead of going through his personal shit. That's like relationship 101. Second, it's just a fantasy most likely. If he was attracted to her specifically, he would look at pics of her. And it's a fairly common genre of porn. It's not like diving into some obscure niche like, oh, he just met this friend who is really into My Little Pony, and suddenly he's looking up women dressed as My Little Pony characters pretending to be sexy horses. I think you have every right to be hurt and upset. Wonder how your BF would feel if you say, got a new 25 meters personal trainer and he subsequently found personal trainer porn in your internet history. I don't know much about your BF or relationship, but I imagine it would bother him a bit. We women have been so pushed into accepting porn news because it's not real. We are so crazy to be hurt by the thought of our men touching themselves thinking about their FNTRCS of other women. I'm sorry, but that is exactly what you saw. Unless your BF has always watched office porn before his new assistant started, then maybe it's just a theme he really likes. But if he just started seeking it immediately after her starting, I don't think that's a coincidence. Talk to your BF about what you saw. Explain to him how it makes you feel. Don't accuse, but give him the opportunity to take care of you and reassure you. His response to this will speak volumes to his character and the relationship. Keep in mind he may continue to watch office porn in incognito mode or will erase his history. At least give him an opportunity to know how it makes you feel and go from there. Good luck, cop. How do I, 31M, support my girlfriend, 29F, in dieting without reinforcing negative self-talk and unhealthy beauty standards? My girlfriend is funny, brilliant, but today I fucked up and supportive of me. She is really my dream girl, and I want to help her achieve her dreams in the way that she has helped me achieve mine. Lately, she's been pretty hard on herself about her eating habits. We eat pretty healthily and are pretty active generally. However, because of various things surrounding us like a cold winter and this crazy virus that's been going around, we've been a little less active these past few months. I am sure that we are both less in shape than we typically are, but I really haven't noticed anything out of the ordinary. Personally, I feel like it is good to get a little stockier in the winter because of holiday treats to protect against the cold. That said, my girlfriend wants to eat even healthier before the holidays, and she wants to try the diet keto. Being kind of dumb, at first I assumed that keto was just a run-of-the-mill low-carb situation, no bread no booze, that kinda deal. However, as I did some research for our shopping, I realized that it is even more restrictive than I imagined. Like, in keto, a tomato is a high-carb food. That said, I am down to do keto with her, because I love her and would choose supporting her over the passing pleasure of any carbohydrate-heavy food forever. However, I notice that the way she talks about keto feels a lot more about losing weight fast than about sustainable healthy eating habits. I want to be supportive of her choices, but I don't want to be supportive in a way that makes her think I want her to lose weight. Instead, what I want to be supportive about is her having agency in her eating, and her feeling good about what we eat. Too long didn't read. Good people of Reddit, how can I support the choices of my dream person without reinforcing negative stereotypes about how women should look? How can I be kind to my smart and sexy partner while also navigating how hard it is for women to deal with the unachievable beauty standards that exist in our culture? As someone who struggled with restrictive eating disorders over the years, please do not go down this rabbit hole with her. Support her in making healthier choices instead of becoming obsessed with every little morsel and calorie that goes into her body. Restrictive eating disorders are a very real mental health issue that is often overshadowed by bulimia and anorexia. At a minimum, let her make her own choices. Do not let her pull you down with her and restrict you as well. You should really talk this out more with her, and start with questions. The way she talks about keto feels a lot more about losing weight fast than about sustainable healthy eating habits. Can you tell me more about why you want to do this diet, and what you expect to achieve while on it? Do you want to maintain this same diet, or something similar in the long term? Is a good one. How do you feel this diet will help you make healthy choices long term? My advice for anyone that wants to eat healthier or lose weight, is to talk to a nutritionist, a good one, that focuses on health, takes into account mental health, and is not going to recommend restrictive diets. So maybe suggest to her that you could do that together, to get back to your healthy habits and be well informed. I think nutritionists vary state by state on what training is required. In some states, I think anyone can call themselves a nutritionist. Dietitian is probably a better bet. Try to focus it more around health or strength, not on beauty. That's what I've found helps me the most. When she talks about how she's doing it to not be fat or whatever the phrasing she uses, try to subtly redirect it to I'm really excited to get a little healthier, and maybe get a little stronger too. Or even a joke like I'm very happy to be declogging the arteries. If that doesn't work, maybe have a serious conversation with her about her body image and how she feels about her weight. Remind her that while it's okay to have weight loss as a goal, she is not a failure if she doesn't lose an extreme amount of weight, ESP if she's healthy to begin with. Hope this helps. Best of luck to you guys. You sound like a VV happy relationship. My fiancé, 33F, left me 21M, for somebody else after we lost our daughter in an accident. My old best friend, 22F, who cheated on me, reached out and I have nobody else to talk to. I need to explain some things and clear things up. My old best friend and I grew up together since the age of 5 and we went through a lot together. I dated her for a bit, but I was super in love with her and thought she was the one, but she ended things one day and told me she had been seeing somebody else and that she felt guilty. She allayed for us to stay as friends, but I kind of distanced myself from her whole family. She kept trying to reach out, but I asked her to give me time and she accepted things. Then a while later I met my fiancé, who is older than me. We have the same hobbies, we have a lot in common, and we fell in love quick. A few months into the relationship we had a daughter who we lost at the age of 1. I was driving home and I was hit by a driver who was speeding and ran a stop sign. My daughter did not make it and I almost died. I was in the hospital for a few days and I woke up alone. It was hard hearing about my loss and my fiancé came to talk to me when I woke up. I am still not even fully recovered and I have some bad lacerations and I am still in pain. She was crying a lot and she started blaming me for it. I guess she is right about it being my fault since I was driving and maybe could have done something, but I did not see the car coming until I was about to turn because he came so fast. Well, she told me she was rethinking our whole relationship and she told me she never really loved me and that she hates me. I just wish I would have gone with my daughter that night instead of having to come back to losing it all. Well, I found out she was with somebody else after I asked her to give me a second chance and she said she was sorry, but that she is with somebody else for now while she starts going back to normal. My ex heard about the news and she came to my house and asked to talk. She said she wanted to stick around while I get better because somebody told her I wasn't doing well. She asked me to give her a chance to be here for me and I don't know if I should considering our history. I talked with her for a little and she stayed for a bit and brought me food. She then told me that she hopes that things go back to normal between us because she misses me. I have nobody else to talk to, but I don't know if I should let her come back into my life or just stay by myself and try to get better without her help. Too long didn't read. I dated my childhood best friend a while back. She cheated on me and broke up with me. Then I got with my now ex-fiancé. She and I had a daughter and she passed away. My fiancé told me she hated me then left me alone. My old best friend wants to come back into my life and she said she wants things between us to get better because she really misses me and still loves me. I don't know what's the right thing to do. I'm doing some math here and it sounds like your old best friend and you stopped dating when you were teenagers. Yes, it is possible that cheating is just a thing your old best friend does. She could just be a cheater. A lot of people on this subreddit are adherents to once a cheater always a cheater, which I tend to agree with. Except in a few cases. And this is one of them. Teenagers are dumb. They make dumb decisions. There's a reason why juvenile records in the USA are generally sealed. Because kids are dumb and make dumb decisions that should not forever taint them as adults. It takes a while for people to develop true empathy and morality and the guiding principles that will take them through to actual adulthood. So yeah, just like how I don't think a teenager who shoplifts is doomed to forever be a thief, I don't necessarily think your old best friend will always be a toxic cheater. You are going through an astoundingly terrible time right now. If she wants to help and her presence is helping, I would say give her a chance. If you can do it, start with just being friends. If, at any point, her presence is not helpful and more painful than you'd like, then you can tell her to leave. But, again, I'd give her a shot to earn back your trust.